Every year, Britain's Got Talent finds great artists and gives them chances that change their lives forever. But not everyone gets lucky. Are all of you okay? No? Okay then. Oh, Malakai Boo, a singing genius with a voice that can melt hearts, walked on stage without knowing that trouble was waiting for him behind the scenes. There were rumors of crimes that were about to happen and would decide the future of this young star. Check out Malakai's amazing journey, which is full of both amazing skills and hard times that will stay with you forever. The artist Malakai Bayoh was born in London in 2010. The city has a lot of different customs and chances for smart, hardworking people. He comes from a simple family and learned to love music when he was young. This would change his life in ways that no one could have thought. Malakai showed he was good at singing from a very young age. They came to the UK from Sierra Leone to make a better life for themselves. They brought with them a lot of different cultures and a strong love for music and the performance arts. This love was passed down to Malakai when she was very young. His house was always filled with both old and new tunes, which made him love music even more. When he was only 7, his mother pushed him to join the choir at St. George's Church in South London. But this wasn't just any band. Malakai's natural ability grew with the help of director Scott Price. Malakai learned how to get better at singing and also realized how powerful music can be and how it can show emotions that words can't always describe. Malakai learned how to work with others, be persistent, and follow through in the choir. In addition to getting better at singing, he gained confidence through hard training and public appearances, which set him up for bigger events in the future. Malakai's path took a sudden change when he was picked to sing by himself at a school Christmas event. Teachers and classmates were shocked when he sang "O Holy Night." That performance paved the way for him in the future, as a video of it quickly went viral and was seen by millions. Malakai's instant fame was a big step that pushed him toward dreams bigger than he ever thought possible. Because of the huge reaction, his family made the choice to do something else. Malakai tried out for Britain's Got Talent in 2022, both to show off his skills and to test himself on one of the UK's biggest talent shows. Malakai had been learning music for years, had steady family support, and had a strong desire to play. It was more than just a game for him, it was a chance to let everyone hear his message. He sang with the hopes and dreams of a London boy ready to take the stage in every note. His bass was strong, and he was filled with fire. He was ready to take the stage. It was now only a matter of time until his big moment. When Malakai Bayoh went to try out for Britain's Got Talent, he was both scared and excited. Many of his family and friends were there with him. His sister and mother, who had always been there for him, were among them. Backstage was full of excitement as contestants quickly got ready for their big moment. While Malakai was walking out on stage, people in the crowd stopped talking and became more excited. Malakai said hello to Simon Cowell and the other judges with a level of confidence that isn't often seen in a 13-year-old. Hey Pie by Sarah Brightman was the song he picked to sing. It was a hard song that needed both great singing technique and a lot of emotion. The room was quiet as soon as the first notes were played because Malakai's voice was so pure, strong, and full of emotion. The crowd seemed to hold their breath as he hit the high notes with style and accuracy. The whole room cheered when the last note was played. There were loud cheers from many people. The judges were shocked and looked at each other. Simon Cowell, who is known for being tough, was the first person to speak. He told Malakai how great his voice was and how brave he was to choose such a hard song and do it so well. Amanda Holden praised how each song made her feel something different. Then the moment of truth came. It was Simon Cowell who hit the golden buzzer, which made gold confetti fall from the sky. Malakai went straight to the live shows. He was going to the next round, but this was more than that. It was proof of his skill and the beginning of a great new journey. Behind the scenes, Malakai broke down in tears and was hugged by his family. His performance not only wowed the judges and the crowd, but it was also the first step toward his goals. It wasn't just a show at this audition, it was the start of a new story full of chances. There was more to Malakai than just being a contestant. He was in the running for the top spot after getting the golden buzzer. But being famous came with a lot of stress, and for the semifinals, he decided to sing Omo Babino Caro by Giacomo Puccini, which needed him to have great vocal skills and show a lot of feeling. But as a young musician, it was a dangerous choice. It also gave him a chance to show how mature his voice was, and he began a time of hard training like he had never had before. With the help of vocal teachers, Malakai spent hours improving his voice as he learned how to sing opera. They taught him how to control his breath and make his range bigger. They also helped him find the deep feelings that were hidden in each note. To get ready for the quarterfinals, Malakai's schedule filled up with more and more voice practice, stage runs, and meetings with performance experts. A stage coach helped him perfect his performance by making sure that every move and emotion made sense to the crowd. The way Malakai did in the semifinals showed how hard he had worked and how committed he was. Getting across the desperate plea of a daughter to her father in Omo Babino Caro took both great voice control and a delicate emotional delivery. The crowd erupted in thunderous praise as he played the last note, and the judges couldn't hide their admiration. Malakai's ability to connect with the crowd and make them not only listen but also feel every word struck Alicia Dixon the most. A terrible tragedy happened in the middle of all the attention, putting Malakai's strength to the test like never before. He lost someone very important to him right before the finals. The man's grandma died. She had been with him the whole time. The news came on a cold morning, which was very different from how his grandmother had always made him feel. She always cheered him on during practice and was there for him when things got tough. The death of his grandma hit him hard and shook him to his core. He got strength from his family, teachers, and friends when he thought he was going to break. Not only did the show make him feel better, but it also told him that his grandma was proud of all he had done and would have wanted him to keep going. Even though it hurt, this loss pushed Malakai to become a better artist. It showed how powerful an artist really is, the way they can use sadness to make music that touches people. Malakai walked into the big show and was ready to give it his all. On stage, everyone in the UK was excited for this moment. It was Britain's Got Talent's golden night, and a young performer was ready to wow the country. There was a lot at stake when Malakai picked Nessun Dorma from Giacomo Puccini's Turandot. The song required a lot of technical skill, a strong emotional center, and a wide vocal range in order to get its message across. Victory over all odds. Malakai walked out on stage in a sleek black suit as the curtain slowly rose. He had the grace of a real opera singer. It was clear right away that this wasn't just a show when he started singing. His voice boomed through the hall, clear and powerful as it soared through the high notes. It was strong, steady, and full of emotion. His desire and drive were stronger than ever by the time he got to the climax. Malakai wasn't just singing, he had a story to tell. As soon as the last note ended, there was full silence in the hall. Then there was a round of loud applause that filled the whole building. People in the crowd were touched so deeply by Malakai that they rose to their feet in awe, and some couldn't hold back tears. Great skill wasn't enough. It took the strength of a soul that had felt love, pain, and the power to turn loss into art. The judges had seen Malakai's trip from the beginning. They said that Simon Cowell, who is known for being very critical, began his speech with an unusually respectful tone. This wasn't just a performance, it was a statement, he told me. You showed that you have more than just a great voice. You showed that you have the heart and soul to bring this piece to life. Alicia Dixon nodded, her eyes shining. He couldn't hold back his joy. You have grown so much since the first day you walked on this stage. Tonight you didn't just perform, you really connected with everyone in this room. This was a world-class performance. The body language, the emotion, the technique, everything was perfect. No matter what happens tonight, your future is definitely bright. Amanda Holden spoke with tears in her eyes because she had been deeply moved by Malakai's journey. Malakai, you have been through things that no one your age should have to go through, but you did. Tonight you sang with your soul, and it was an honor to hear it. As the judges talked, everyone in the room knew that Malakai had not only met but far surpassed the high standards that had been set for him. That night he wasn't just a great contestant, he became one of the most famous young artists in the history of Britain's Got Talent. There was only one thing that was certain: Malakai Bayoh had won. He won not only on stage but also in the hearts of millions of people, which is the best success an artist could ever have. A fresh start. The big finale of Britain's Got Talent wasn't just the end of a trip for Malakai, it was also the beginning of a bright new chapter in the world of classical music for this amazing young talent. Everyone was excited to see what he did next. Malakai's job not only went on after his very emotional trip on the show, it took off. Universal Music saw how talented he was and signed him to a recording deal with a big label right after the final. As a traditional artist, this was a big step forward for him. Malakai's first record, Golden, came out that fall. It was a mix of classical pieces and current songs that showed off his artistic range and depth. Notably, Malakai worked on the record with two well-known artists, Sir Carl Jenkins and Andrew Lloyd Webber, who were both very interested in his artistic growth. When Golden came out, it got great reviews. They said beautiful things about how grown-up and emotional Malakai was in every note. The record quickly went to the top of the official classical music charts and also did very well on the Scottish album charts. This made him an even bigger star in the world of classical music. Because Golden was so popular, they got to play big parts. A full symphony orchestra played Malakai's first show at the Royal Albert Hall. He sang songs from his record. The event was shown live, which brought him more fame as a potential young opera singer and caught the attention of millions more people. After that, Malakai kept performing at big music events all over Europe, where he made an impact along with more experienced artists. Not only did his success make him feel good, it also made a stir in the world of classical music. Malakai inspired a lot of young singers and sparked interest in a style that was usually controlled by older artists. There were more students in music schools and youth bands, and many aspiring musicians said that Malakai's shows made them love classical music. His name came up a lot when people talked about how important it is to help young musicians grow up and what part they should play in the arts. Malakai does more than just work as a single artist. He also works with music education groups to host workshops and lessons for young singers who want to find out what they're capable of. He always talks about how important it is to work hard, go to school, and love music. In an interview, Malakai said, "Every song I sing holds a piece of my story in my heart. Whether they are happy or sad, he thinks that human situations make art better." One of the most important things Malakai has learned is how to be a great artist and a sign of honesty and depth in music. In a field where trends and business forces change things, he wants to stay true to himself. Malakai Boo's rise from a potential contestant on Britain's Got Ability to a world-famous classical singer shows how ability, hard work, and music can bring people together. With his work going strong and his impact growing, he is not only securing his place in the business, but also showing other artists how to do it, which is good for the next generation of artists. These values have become the compass that guides Malakai's singing path, letting him shine not only on stage but also in keeping and sharing the art that he loves. Looking ahead, Malakai's goals go beyond his singing job. He wants to continue the journey of musical heritage. His goal is to use his fame to encourage kids from poor homes to learn music. He really wants to open a music school where young artists can follow their dreams without having to worry about money. Any child who loves music should be able to follow their dream, Malakai said, pledging to keep helping the people who have helped him. They have high hopes for Malakai because he has a special mix of technical skill and emotional depth that makes him stand out in the world of classical music. Malakai does more than sing well. He also tells stories. Malakai is also trying new kinds of music. He wants to try out different styles and even write his own music to make things that are only he can do. He also wants to combine music styles with other acts to make new songs that more people can enjoy. Malakai's family, especially his mother, is proud of what he has done and who he has become. Watching him grow up kind and humble despite all the attention he gets makes me prouder than any award, she said in a chat. Still, he is grateful to his family, especially his mother and late grandmother, who taught him to love art more than short-term fame. The true value of music is not in the applause, but in how sincerely you convey it, he stated. From now on, Malakai Bayoh is more than just a young singer who got his start on Britain's Got Talent. Malakai turned from a talented contestant to a rising classical star. Her story shows how ability, hard work, and a real love for the arts can make a difference. He wants to become more influential in and out of the music business. His work is still growing, and he is making an impact on stage and in the hearts of music fans all over the world. As time goes on, Malakai will keep looking for new chances and taking on jobs in other countries. What does this great singer do next with his music projects? We can't wait to hear how they encourage other artists to follow their dreams.